You're listening to Rebel Spirituality with me, Sam Goldfinch. Here's the truth. Wisdom doesn't follow rules. So each week we're going to explore what it means to wake up your way so you can live a more peaceful, creative and inspired life no matter your circumstances. It's time to blaze your unique path to truth. Right, this week I want to start with a statement, and it's this. It's you don't process emotions. Emotions are a process. And I think for many of us, when we've been in the self-development world, personal development world, even, the spiritual kind of scene, if you like, this idea of processing our emotions. I need to process my emotions. I was on a call the other day and was talking to actually a number of different people about they were practicing feeling their feelings and things like that. And it's kind of interesting. I want to kind of poke holes in that for a minute, because as it looks to me, it's not that we're processing emotions. Emotions are their own process, right? The less we get involved, the more they just naturally process. By way of a metaphor, I'm sure many of you will have seen those huge water wheels. I think that's what they're called. But effectively, in the Industrial Revolution, they built these incredible wooden wheels that they put near streams or rivers, and the stream of the river would move around the wheel. The wheel would collect the water and it would have its own momentum and it would generate power, right? So that they could run factories and things like that. Now, whether there was a small amount of water coming through the stream or the river that fed the water wheel, right? And it was moving quite slowly, or whether there was a torrent of water, perhaps there'd been rains that night in high ground and the next morning the rivers were high and like the wheel was like had far more energy in there. There's no amount of me or you or any of the workers getting involved that was going to help the process, right? It was its own process. It was just sometimes it was spinning more slowly, sometimes it was spinning faster, and sometimes there would almost be too much water for the wheel. So it would take a bit longer, but the wheel would eventually kind of take that energy in the form of water and it would move it through and it would convert it and transmute it into the power that was needed. Now, in a way, what we've been up to a lot of the time is putting dams in before the water wheel. So the water wheel is the kind of natural wisdom and the intelligence of the body that's just going to allow that process to appear within awareness. But we may have, through worry or fear that we can't feel things, or we don't know that the body is capable of processing things. Perhaps we're quite literally frightened of our feelings, right? So it's almost like we put a dam there. Then at some point we realize, oh, I can do that. So we take the dam away, but then we're in there. We create this me, right? Or you create this you in there that's got to process your emotions, or that has to let things be, when really it's awareness and the process of the energetic process of the emotion appearing within you, right? As soon as we go, oh, it's my job to move this energy through, then we've created another us that doesn't really exist. That's in there. It's another thought generated us that we've created to try and help the energy move on through. And that, in my experience, it isn't any more helpful. It's basically like trying to grab hold of the water wheel and spin it faster or something, and it doesn't actually do anything. And if we're not careful, we can get caught up in that and we end up being spun around all over the place, right? So this points to the power of and the wisdom in the body, the whole system, neurologically, physiologically, biologically, the whole system. I've often spoken about one of my favorite things when it feels like there's too much energy in the system for me, is to just kind of lie on the floor like a starfish and just allow that energy to move through me, like I'm that water wheel that doesn't have an opinion about it. It's just, okay, I'm spinning faster today. And in time, in the time that's not the time that's right by me, the time that's right by the energy in the water, of course, it will flow through, and then we'll find ourselves in a state of calm. So yeah, and for me, that's about staying with the energy of what's happening in that moment. It's like, okay, there is an energy here with me. Perhaps we want to label it, perhaps we don't. Perhaps we can say there's sadness here, or perhaps there's excitement here, or perhaps there's whatever it might be, right? We can feel the sensations, right? Before the labeling. Maybe we label it, and then that allows us to drop before the concept, if you like, to just be with the sensations. But it's about staying with that. It's about staying before the because. And what I mean by that is, if we say I am sad and we're with that experience, right? There's the truth of us, there's the I am, the awareness, and there's the sadness that's appearing. And then we can just allow that to kind of be there. No judgment, no trying to get rid of it, no trying to make it go away. As soon as we add because, I am sad because, then we end up in the world of form. We end up in the world of story. Regardless of whether it feels like the story is right or any of that kind of stuff, if we're not careful, we end up swimming around in extra stuff, right? So the emotion or the sensation or the feeling, it's a process, right? They're processes and they're processing themselves. It's not that it's your job or anything like that. There's far less to do. This is about less, not more. All right, team. I hope that you saw something. If you did, I'd love for you to share, reach out, let me know what you saw. But go and have the most amazing day, and I look forward to hearing from you. See you soon.